You know what's funny? The US is one of the only countries where people can pay $3,000 a month for a studio apartment and still think they're winning at life. Meanwhile, in other states, people own houses, have yards, drive to work in under 10 minutes, and still have money left for coffee that isn't $8. Yeah, those places exist. They're not glamorous, they're not trending on TikTok, but they don't suck. Today, we're counting down the top 10 cheapest places to live in the US. That don't suck, where you can stretch your dollar, live comfortably, and maybe even touch grass for once. Hit subscribe because this might save you thousands, or at least your sanity. And before the keyboard warriors rush to the comments, yes, these numbers are real. Everything here comes from official sources: US Census, Bureau of Labor Statistics, Cost of Living Index, you name it. We did the math so you don't have to cry over it later. Number 10, Des Moines, Iowa, the calm you can actually afford. Des Moines doesn't make headlines, and that's exactly why it works. It's one of those cities where life actually makes sense. Median home price, around $215,000 compared to $740,000 in Los Angeles. Rent for a one-bedroom, about $950. Cost of living is roughly 11% below the national average, and unemployment sits at just 2.8% thanks to growth in insurance, finance, and tech. The vibe: quiet, clean, community-oriented. You can walk downtown without being trampled by e-scooters or flash mobs. The city's big on parks, festivals, and, shocker, actually decent restaurants. Downsides? Winters are cold enough to make you question your life choices. But hey, you'll save enough to buy better coats. Number 9. Fayetteville, Arkansas, where rent is low and nature is high. Arkansas doesn't sound sexy, but Fayetteville might just surprise you. Median home price, $190,000. Cost of living, 12% below the US average. Fayetteville sits in the Ozark Mountains, meaning you're surrounded by trails, lakes, and waterfalls. The University of Arkansas keeps the city young and innovative, and nearby Bentonville, yep, Walmart HQ keeps the jobs flowing, especially in logistics, retail, and tech. Add to that a booming startup scene, art museums like Crystal Bridges, and some of the friendliest people in the country. Downside? Step outside for 5 minutes and you turn into a steamed dumpling. But affordable housing, scenic beauty, and economic growth? That's a combo you won't find in most states. Number 8. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Cold, cheap, and weirdly awesome. Everyone knows Green Bay for the Packers, cheese, and questionable tailgating decisions. But underneath the football mania, it's one of the most affordable and stable cities in the Midwest. Cost of living, 10% below average. Median home price, $260,000. Rent for a one-bedroom, about $1,000. Crime, 25% lower than the national average. Schools, excellent. Jobs, strong in healthcare, paper manufacturing, and logistics. Winters are brutal. We're talking frozen nostrils in 10 seconds brutal. But here's the twist. You get world-class community life. Breweries, farmers markets, lakefront festivals, and zero pretension. It's Portland, as if Portland stopped charging you to exist. Number 7. Huntsville, Alabama, the NASA city that's actually affordable. Huntsville is one of those cities that sneaks up on you. Everyone assumes Alabama is all humidity and football, but Huntsville is Rocket City, literally. NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center is here. Unemployment, 2.5%. Median home price, $280,000. Rent for a one-bed, $150,000. Cost of living, 13% below national average. The city's booming in aerospace, biotech, and engineering, but it still feels like a southern town. People wave. There's actual space between houses. And crime? Surprisingly low for a city this size. Downside? The summer air feels like hot soup. But trade a bit of sweat for a paid-off house, and it's worth it. Number 6. Springfield, Missouri, Midwest's best-kept secret. Springfield, Missouri is basically affordable America, the remix. Median home price, $200,000 to $5,000. Cost of living, 15% below national average. Rent for a one-bed around $900. It's the third largest city in Missouri. Big enough for Target runs, small enough to not lose your soul in traffic. Crime has dropped in recent years. The economy is diversifying, manufacturing, healthcare, and education. And the city's surrounded by lakes, rivers, and parks. The downtown area has been revived too. Breweries, street art, music, and yes, an actual coffee culture. Downsides? Tornadoes, because Missouri can't just let you live in peace. But for quality of life per dollar, Springfield's a winner. Number 5, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where quiet equals to quality. You've probably never thought of moving to South Dakota. That's fine. It prefers it that way. Sioux Falls, the state's biggest city, has no state income tax. Median home price is around $250,000 and cost of living 10% under the national average. It's one of the cleanest, safest small cities in America. Unemployment around 2%. Economy booming, with growth in healthcare, banking, and manufacturing. The city's surrounded by parks, trails, and waterfalls, literally within the city limits. And people are genuinely nice here. Not the fake customer service nice. The "I'll help you jumpstart your car in a blizzard" nice. Downsides? Winter. And wind that could knock over your Wi-Fi. But it's stable, cheap, and peaceful. 3 words you never hear together anymore. Number 4, Lexington, Kentucky, bourbon and budget-friendly living. Lexington is what happens when Southern charm meets fiscal responsibility. Cost of living 14% below the U.S. average. Median home price $260,000. You get world-famous horse farms, bourbon distilleries, and universities, all in one of America's safest cities. Jobs are strong in logistics, manufacturing, and healthcare. The downtown has great restaurants, arts, and music, but without the chaos of bigger cities. Plus, it's surrounded by rolling bluegrass hills that make you question why you ever settled for smog. Downside? Drivers who think turn signals are optional. But honestly, you'll be too chill to care. Number 3, Fort Wayne, Indiana, the hidden star of the Midwest. Fort Wayne is one of those cities that consistently ranks as most livable, but no one talks about it because, well, it's Indiana. Median home price, $250,000. Rent, $950,000. Cost of living, 17% below the national average. Crime is low, schools are good, and unemployment hovers around 3%. The city invested millions in downtown revitalization. Parks, coffee shops, tech startups, bike paths, and festivals. There's real community here, not HOA emails. The vibe? Safe, calm, affordable. A place where people still say good morning and mean it. Downside? Winters can drag, and nightlife is more pub trivia than Vegas energy. But for a balanced, low-stress life, Fort Wayne is hard to beat. Number 2, Boise, Idaho, the smart escape. Boise used to be a secret. Then Californians found it. And prices shot up. But it's still a deal compared to the coast. Median home price, $430,000. Rent, $1,400. Cost of living just slightly above average. But quality of life? Top tier. You get mountain views, bike trails, microbreweries, and one of the lowest crime rates in the U.S. The job market's strong too. Healthcare, tech, and construction are booming. It's clean, safe, and outdoorsy. The kind of city where people hike before work and still have time to grab craft coffee after. Downside? Growth is pushing costs up, but compared to California, it's still heaven on earth. And before we go to our number 1, don't forget to like the video to help me out. Do you have any idea how hard it is to research these true data for you guys? Haha. Moving on. Number 1, Tulsa, Oklahoma, the city that pays you to move in. Not only is it cheap, it's one of the few U.S. cities that will literally pay you $10,000 to move there through the Tulsa Remote program. Median home price, $210,000. Rent, $950, $1,100. Cost of living, 15% below national average. The city's downtown is full of Art Deco architecture, live music, food halls, and a growing remote worker community. Job growth? Steady. Internet speed? Surprisingly fast. You can live comfortably, save money, and be part of one of the fastest growing mid-sized cities in the country. Downside? Tornadoes. But you can afford a basement. So problem solved. So there you have it. 10 affordable cities that prove you don't have to be broke to live well in America. From the quiet plains of Iowa to the hidden tech hub of Alabama, these places offer what most big cities lost years ago: balance. Which one would you move to? Drop your pick in the comments. For north, for south. And hey, if you like this one, you'll love my last video. The smartest Americans are moving here, and no one notices. This is The Bald Truth, your sarcastic guide to real American living. See you next time, hopefully somewhere that doesn't bankrupt you for existing.